Hello there, everybody. I'm Mel Allen, and this is Baseball Collector.
Yo and hello everybody, Mike here, Baseball Collector, and it's Monday, which is mail day, because the weekend stuff gets here, and that's always fun. So I got a little bit of stuff to show off, including an auction house win, or wins, I should say, just some eBay pickups and whatnot. But first I want to say thanks so much to Scotty Tradition, and of course Mark Fu3112 for doing another episode of Beyond Cardboard last night. So if you haven't gotten to see it, you should definitely go check it out, because Scott was a great guest. We had a great time just talking hobby, talking him, and that was a whole lot of fun. And the second thing I want to do is give a huge shout out to my boy Garrett, Card Cutter. He is back in town from deployment. He serves proudly in our U.S. Navy and works really hard at that. And, I am incredibly blessed to have so many friends from YouTube and this hobby, and I'm very grateful for that. And Garrett is one of the greatest of my friends. He is, when he's in town, he and I talk pretty much every day, and I am so glad he's back. I get to talk to him now more regularly than just the occasional Facebook message and stuff, and so I'm really excited about him being home, and I'm glad he's home safe. And thank you, Garrett, for what you do for our country. And thank you just for being a great friend. And I just really missed you a lot, buddy. So welcome home. And let's look at some cards now. Enough being sappy. Let's just look at some cards. Here we go. Interestingly enough, I'm sitting here looking at just the cards that are down on my table down here. And I think about, when I look at cards like this, I think of my buddies. It's kind of weird. Like over here, we got Ichiro. You can barely see him. And so I think of, Ground Chuck up in Seattle. And I got some Tigers over here. And it makes me think of Caitlin and JT. And, of course, you got Doc Gooden right there, which is, of course, makes me think of Eric, those back pages. Over here, I got Ryan Sandberg, which makes me think of Stealing Second. And Ryan, the Hot Corner collection. Over here in the corner is George Brett over here, so think of Blue Jacket 66. You got Will Clark, so Nate Topps 85 401. And just every time I look at a card, I don't know about you guys, but I just think of people that collect those players, collect those teams, and it's just, I don't know, brings a smile to my face. So let's look at some cards. Here's a quick pickup from eBay. I loved this card as a kid, and I love 83 Topps in general. And this Reggie Jackson is so classic to me, because you got cool Reggie. You got Reggie from the early 80s, and he was with the Angels kind of towards the end of his career. He was already Mr. October, already on his way to being a Hall of Famer. And he's got, who else could rock those cool sunglasses like that? Only Reggie Jackson could. So go Reggie. Nice little mint 9 there. This card, again, speaking of friends, so this card was inspired to get into my collection because of Mike, Canadian Cards. I don't know, a week or two ago, he got one of these at a show. He got a PSA 6, and he got it for a great deal. And I was like, oh man, I need a 59 Topps Aaron. So what did I do? I went out and bought a 59 Topps Aaron. And I don't know about you guys, but when you see cool stuff in other people's videos or on their channels, hopefully it inspires you in a good way to be like, man, that is sweet. I would love to have a card like that. And you try to go find it. And so I was able to pick up this just nice little 5 here. It's kind of off center. It's not perfect, but it's a nice collector grade 5 for a 59 Topps. And I'm just thrilled to have it. I think I only need 1 or 2 more regular issue Hank Aaron's to have his entire player run done. So always looking out for those. Now we got a bunch of autographs. These are all from Mile High Card Company is where I got them. They're an online auction house based out of Denver. Go figure, Mile High Card Company. And they just had a bunch of player autographs that I liked, and so I started picking them up. I don't know that I got like screaming deals on these, but I paid what I thought was fair and bid. I'm going to hold this one this way because this is a Bowman's Best. I want to say this is 99. Let's take a look. Let's see here. See if we can't read that. I dang can't read it that way. Yep. 98, I guess. Golly, I still can't see it. 98. So right before he became a MVP in 99. Beautiful Chipper Jones autograph there on the Baseball's Best. This is one of the favorite ones I got. I don't have a ton of Greg Maddux stuff, only because it's so bloomin' expensive. And I think I paid $40 for this one. So I was thrilled to win this at the price that I paid. Numbered 9 of 10, Flawless. It's Panini Flawless. It's the ruby version or red version, whatever they call it. On-card autograph. Again, I don't know how that says Greg Maddux, but that's his signature, and there it is. And it's encased in the, Flawless one-touch mag. But love that, numbered to 10. The next three are some vintage player era autos, and some people have been asking me what a player era auto is, and to me, a player era auto is a card signed by the player from their playing days. Not necessarily signed during their playing days. We don't know when it was signed, but it's certainly a card from their playing days signed by the player. So here's a 53 Topps Enos Slaughter. These next three are all PSA slabbed already, so that's even better. Again, as I said in one of my last videos, players back then used to sign in ballpoint pen pretty regularly. That was a very common practice in the 70s and 80s. Sharpies weren't being used very prevalently at that point, and so a lot of players just signed cards, especially at the stadium or something. They would just sign in ballpoint pen. So there's the Enos Slaughter. Love that. Here is an Eddie Matthews. So the negative about ballpoint pen, obviously, is sometimes it's tough to see the autograph. It's tough for it to show up. It's not necessarily bold. It can, it doesn't always just pop on the card. But they're still gorgeous. Here's just 1962 Topps. I love it. So this is back before, if you don't know, PSA DNA used to put the card description in the flip. This one says 1962 Topps. They have now gotten to where they will, unless you pay extra money, they will only say trading card or something. And so this is definitely an old slab, and that's just fine by me. It says 1962 Topps. I love it, and it is. So great card there. Eddie Matthews. And the last one, this is the last card I have to show, period, is this beautiful 1960 Topps Warren Spahn autograph there. Slabbed PSA DNA Authentic. So there you go. These autographs typically would not grade well, so it's not something I would typically send in for grading. To get the autograph graded, I just want to have it and try to get as many of these as I can. So, excuse me. That is that, guys. Hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your week. We'll talk to you soon. Keep collecting.